Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Girlies, I hope you grab a glass of wine or whatever drink you fancy, whatever tickles your fancy. And welcome to Agony Aunt. For anyone new here, Agony Aunt started on my Instagram during lockdown 1. Disclaimer, I'm not claiming that I'm an Agony Aunt. Agony Aunt is a term used for someone who gives advice. You know, if you were like me back in the day, I used to love reading Ms. magazine, Kiss magazine. I would pick up the magazine and go straight to the Agony Aunt column where girls would ask about periods, boys, all that cute little shit. So, you know, this is our adult version of that. Lockdown 1, we were all missing our girlies, we were missing our chats, we were missing the goss. So I just came to my stories and said, girlies, tell me your news, tell me the goss. We started sharing funny sex stories, most embarrassing stories, worst date stories. You girls would ask questions and we'd do polls. So it's not that I give advice, because I'm not a therapist. I did study a few psychology modules in college, but I'm no therapist, I'm no psychologist. I just love to chat. I love girl chat, I love girl talk. Let's talk about sex, baby. And girlies, like, we don't take anything too seriously. People on the internet take things so seriously. This is just a bit of fun, a bit of chat. Everyone is welcome here. We just talk about anything and everything, and we just share each other's problems. So many people are getting ghosted. So many people are going through heartbreak. So many people have never experienced a boyfriend or heartbreak. So this is what we come here to chat about. So welcome. It's usually on my Instagram, but we're doing it for my YouTube today. So I got your entries on my Instagram, so I'll be reading from my phone. I'll post them on the screen so you can read them yourself. And let's get into it. So we're gonna start with this one, because this to me is kind of controversial, especially here of our community of girly whirlies. Girl code is a big thing here, comes up a lot. And this girly whirly says, girl code doesn't exist unless you know each other's birthdays. Like, it's a very interesting way to look at it. It's a very interesting analogy. You know, I don't think this gal is trying to say she's trying to say like girl code, absolutely, but only when it's someone you know, someone you love, someone you're close to. And I get that. So I do agree with this to a certain extent, because I do agree that if you don't know the girl and it was just genuine crossing of paths and she didn't know she was getting involved and you didn't know, you know, I do think there's a big mix up, but I'm a strong believer in girl code. I'm a gal's gal. I love my gals and I support my gals all the way. But I do get what she's saying. I'd love to know what people think about this. I'm gonna put this on my story for a poll anyway. I just think it's an interesting take on it. You know, if you don't know her, what do you owe her? Or, you know, girl code 100% for your best friend, someone you know, but where's the line? Do you have to know her birthday? He ghosted me after 10 months, then turned out he had another girl on the go too. Girlies, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I will say it again. It is so much more about them than it's about you. And what I mean by that is you girlies, we're all so quick to blame ourselves. What did I do wrong? What did I say that was wrong? Was I too eager? Was I not eager enough? Was I too hard to get? What did I do wrong? We are so quick to blame ourselves, but in every circumstance, it is him. It's to do with him. He decides he doesn't want commitment. He decides he wants another girl. It's a shit one. He decides he wants his ex back. His ex comes crawling back. You never know the situation, because they'll never have the balls to fucking tell you. We would appreciate it much more if they would just be fucking honest and tell the truth and just say, listen, I'm outie, girly, I'm outie. Thanks for the fun times. But I think that's the best way to see it. It's more about them than it's about you. So stop blaming yourself. They're a coward if they don't have it in them just to fucking text you and tell you what's up, okay? So we are not spending time thinking about people who ghost you. It tells you everything about them. It says everything about them and nothing about you. You don't want someone who's capable of ghosting you. We don't want that. Not in 2021. We don't well. Okay, girlie, you said, why am I still getting ghosted? Girlie, you are not alone. I can tell you that. Every second message on here is about getting ghosted. It is such fuckery. It is so modern day fuckery. I just can't stand it. I just can't wrap my head around it. The fact that no one has the balls to just say, listen, I'm not interested anymore. Thanks for the fun. Why is that so difficult? So girlie, you're not alone. It's not you, it's a them problem. There's so many fuckers out there ghosting, clearly. And there's so many fuckers out there sitting on their phone right now during a pandemic ghosting everyone, okay? So you're not alone, girlie. We just gotta move on from it and thrive and shine regardless, okay? You will find the one. Don't worry about these frogs, okay? Accidentally told a one night stand I loved him during sex, mortified. Girlie, I'm sure you're chuffed. I'm sure you're chuffed. You're right. You're right. Let's choose to just not give a fuck, you know? I slapped me in the face during sex, so I slapped him back. He definitely wasn't expecting that. Girlie! You go, gal. You go, girlie. What was his reaction? Bet he liked it, like. But go you, good woman. Stand up for yourself, girly. Okay, we just had something very similar. This gal says, I have to stop giving my boyfriend blowjobs because I keep getting tonsillitis. Any advice? Is this a thing? Is this a thing? Girlies, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do some Googling, but does it cause that? You poor gal. That's not good. That's not good for you, babe. I know he wants what he wants, but girly, you gotta look after yourself first. I've never heard of that before. I'm gonna need to look into that. I've no, you know, I'm not a doctor, I have no advice for that. I don't really know what to tell you, gal. I tell him to fuck off, honestly, to be honest, until you can sort it out. I love you. Do you message after being ghosted for closure or to put them in their place? Personally, I just think don't. I just don't think they deserve the text. They don't deserve to know how you're feeling. They don't deserve your emotions. I just don't, and I just don't think you'll get what you want from it. I think, from personal experience, when you text someone because you're angry and you want them to know how you feel, they either won't reply again, so they ghost you again, or the reply is just not what you were looking for. I think we message people out of wanting a response and wanting them to take responsibility and maybe wanting an apology. Just don't get it from them, usually. I'm personally, write the angry email, write the angry text, write the angry letter, send it to a gal pal, but I personally think don't waste your time sending it to them. I just don't think they deserve your time and effort anymore. Even if you want to tear them down and be awful to them, I just don't think it's worth your time and energy, to be honest. Ever been caught doing the naughty? Personally, no. No. If anyone, like maybe a friend, but that's fine. That's fine. You know, friends have sex in the same room as you. It's fine. Someone said tips on trusting people again after being cheated on. So I've personally never been cheated on. I'm very grateful for that. But I also have my own reasons to not trust men, you could say, but I just don't let that affect my relationships. You know, I personally just see it as everyone deserves their own chance. You know, leave your own experiences in the back, park it, you've learned and you've wised up from your experiences, but not everyone is the same and everyone deserves their own chance, their own clean slate. I'm just like a believer in don't bring in past trauma into the new, which is very hard to do. So it's all about healing. I think you just gotta heal from the first trauma. You gotta heal from the trauma of being cheated on before you can trust someone else. Because of course you're gonna bring that into new relationships and you don't wanna go into relationships bringing that with you. You wanna leave that behind. So in my opinion, you gotta heal from it first. Take your time to heal from it. Trust them until they give you the reason not to. You know, so your ex might have cheated, but it doesn't mean your new boy's gonna cheat, and he deserves the opportunity to prove to you and trust him until he shows true colors, maybe. Someone said, would you ever reach out to a friend that's really hurt you in the past? A lot of friendship questions coming in. So I'm such a believer in, if you want them in your life, if you miss them, if they're good to you, if they're good for your life, if they're good for your soul, keep them in your life. If they drained you, if they were negative in your life, if they didn't empower you and you fell out, maybe it was for a reason and maybe you don't need them back in your life. So I'm just a huge believer in, if they're good for your life and they're good for you, of course, reach out, try and make the connection again, absolutely. But if it was someone who did you more damage than good, I'm a believer in just leave them in the past. Someone said, I peed on my boyfriend the night of my 21st birthday and we still laugh to this day. Girly, cheers to you. I love that. I peed in my own handbag. We love a good peeing story. We get a lot of boys asking to be peed on during sex stories. Wow. Should you ask your new partner about how many people they've slept with, or is ignorance bliss? This is a good one. This is quite a common question. Personally, in my opinion, I want to know. I just want to know their experience. I want to know about girlfriends. I want to know about exes. Some people would much rather start new and not talk about it, and which is so fair. In my opinion, I'd like to know nothing about the girls. Like, you know, girlies, we don't go and stalk the girls. Don't be doing that. Don't go and compare yourself. That is irrelevant. But personally, I just like to know what kind of experience we're talking about. Has he had bad experiences? Has he had a girlfriend at all? Or did he have a really bad experience of a girlfriend? I would just like to know about them and not the girl. Just, I want to learn about their experiences, but I don't care. We don't want the girlies, don't go stalking the girls, okay? Don't go comparing yourself to the girls. It's more about, I would want to know for our relationship going forward, what have they dealt with, what have I dealt with, yada yada yada. Number of people they've slept with, maybe you might not want to know that. Again, depends on why you're asking. Like, are you asking from an insecure place? Because if it is, maybe you just shouldn't know at all. Or if you just genuinely if you can take on that info and it not bother you, ask away. That's how I see it. If they wanted to, they would, became a big phrase on TikTok. A lot of people started to disagree with it. I'm a big believer. I do genuinely believe, like, you know, if a guy keeps saying, we have to meet up, 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 and then does nothing about it. Like, personally, I just wouldn't have time for someone to be, like, you know, dangling that carrot in front of my face and not acting on it. Fucking act on it. So I do think if a guy just keeps saying, we must meet up, we have to go for drinks, we must do this, but if he doesn't just make it happen, like, that's just, stop wasting my time. Stop wasting my time. I'm gonna go find someone who will. But I do get the point of view that, you know, not every guy has the courage. Not every guy's balls. I totally get that. Not everyone has it in them. So I just take it that, I think that phrase applies when they're just taking the piss. Like, if they're just constantly dangling, like breadcrumbing, but not actually acting on it, stop wasting my time, you know? What to do if you have a toxic friend in your friend group so you can't cut her out. Girly, I think everyone goes through that. There is always someone in a group that you might not get along with, or she might be the ringleader, or she might be the girl that is so nice to everyone but she tears you down, or she kind of seems to have something against you, and she's literally in the group so you can't cut ties. It's the worst ever. All I can say to that, in my opinion, is to cut someone out. It doesn't necessarily mean, because you can't always literally cut them out, never see their name again, never talk to them again, never see them again. But it's more so like, stop exerting your energy into them. So when she writes something nasty in a group, ignore it. When she says something bitchy, ignore. Like, as much as you can. I know it's so hard, but the best thing you can do is just stop putting energy into that toxic girl, and it will slowly drain out of your life. It will slowly ease out of your life. Even though she's in the group, if you stop putting energy into her, if you stop really engaging with her, stop having one-to-ones with her, don't read her messages, don't read what she has to say, and just don't take what she has to say to heart. You know, people can be so toxic, hurt people. So it's just so important that you're protecting your energy, and if that means you just have to distance yourself from someone as much as you can, don't put energy into her, don't put time into her. It can sound very harsh, but sometimes it's just what you gotta do. And never be nasty. Like, when cutting out someone or getting rid of a toxic person, never be nasty about it. You don't ever want to lower to their level. Just stop putting energy into them and they will wean out of your life. Because toxic people tend to clutch onto attention. Typically, if you feed into toxic behavior, they'll keep going. So if you just don't entertain it, don't feed into it, they won't bother with you anymore. You kind of want to be in a level that you're so over toxic people and you're so happy and positive that they won't come to you anymore, because they know you just don't vibe, like, they won't get the vibe, they won't get what they want from you anymore. Someone said, V card, lost, very drunk in a lane beside a graveyard. Girlie, you're not alone. There are so many stories here, you know, people don't even remember it, they're so young, yada, yada, yada. Listen, it happened, it happened. The most important thing I'll say is, if you haven't lost your V card, just don't feel pressured to do it. Do it with someone you trust. Don't let any boy or girl pressure you into it, and take your time with it. I don't think anyone has the perfect first time. If you did, kudos. People often ask about my first time. Just Not cute, not cute. Is anyone's that cute, you know? Cheers. Someone said, after a breakup, do we dump the pics, presents, cards, etc., or do we keep them as good memories? That's a good question. I think it totally depends on how you're dealing with it. Because some girls are so well able to just throw it all out. You delete all the pictures, fuck you, do you even exist? And some girls hold on to it forever. And then some people hold on to it, but not that they're like still in love with them, but they just like it, like it's memories. It was a part of your life. So I don't think there's a right or wrong to it. And a lot of girls also ask about like boyfriends still having the photos or still having photos on the Instagram. I think, again, it's not that deep. I just think if they're kept, they're kept. As long as it's not someone still pining after someone. But if they're kept, they're kept. It was a part of someone's life. We do have to accept that. You know, it may have been years of someone's life. So, you know, I get it. Really sorry, this video has been a disaster. My memory card deleted my footage halfway through. It stopped working. Then my battery died. I've been sitting here, I don't know how long. So I'm basically drunk as a skunk. My drunk eyes are telling you and me it's time to go to bed. We'll definitely do an agony aunt again on here. The next one will probably be on my stories on Instagram, but we will do a YouTube agony aunt again soon. As always, girlies, I see you in my likes, subscribes, and comments, and I love you so much. Always appreciate you, and I see you down below. So ask me any questions down below. Let me know what you want to see next, and I love hearing from you, and I just adore you and appreciate you so much. Love you. Bye.